Hello everybody and welcome back to my stream. Today we're going to be trying out Feed the Beast Unstable. This is my first Minecraft video, so forgive a couple of mistakes here and there. I will point out that we are using 3.0.7 because the latest version 0.8 I think it is actually a bit too unstable. By the looks of it, they added Botania and Biomes of Plenty, which would have been great to play with, but unfortunately I can't seem to generate a world without the system crashing. So we're downgrading a bit, and we may try upgrading later. The thing is, with the unstable packs, as the message right there shows you, there is no tech support. So they'll be updating the pack as they see fit. They don't really give out change logs. And we just kind of get dragged along. But on the other hand, we do get to see all the newest and greatest toys before anybody else. Downside is sometimes the newest and greatest toys don't always work together. So give and take a little bit there. Now I have already generated a couple worlds. I'm a geek. Get used to it. These ones were on previous versions, and I think I could probably still use them, but I'm going to use Eden Prime because I just generated that one a moment ago, and this way we don't have any origin or anything like that we have to worry about. Now I should point out with the origin right now there is not really many tech packs or tech mods in this pack. We're maybe doing a bit of buildcraft for infrastructure, but this is, I think we're mainly going to be doing a magic-based playthrough based on Thaumcraft 5 and the new version of Above Magic. So I am going to be trying to put this on YouTube, so I may be trying to cut some of this out here, but I'll at least give it an explore around real quick because I think this is actually a reasonably good spot to settle down. I mean, we've got a little bit more water than I might like, but we can deal with that. But we got a swamp biome here, so we can use, or so we can get some slime stuff. We got a reasonably flat area here we can use. And we got the desert over there too if we want to explore a bit. Not to mention, I think that's the extreme hills there. So downside is there is no village or anything as far as I can tell, but you know, we do have some options, and I see plenty of oil, which is going to be very useful for buildcraft later, especially if we try to use like a quarry or something. I actually do find it kind of funny actually because there are mods in here that deal with things like RF and solar panels, but there's no real mod that uses them besides RF tools, and there's no cables to transfer the power, so you would have to have them right next to it. Doable, a little bit inconvenient, but doable. Now, like I said, I think I'm going to be putting this up back on YouTube, so I'm going to cut here while I do a couple things. Quite frankly, everybody is seeing somebody punch wood, or if you haven't, you're probably looking at the wrong video. Why don't I cut here, and I'll be back later. Oh, this is something new with Thaumcraft. These are the new shards. You no longer have the infused stone. Basically, it's kind of gone back to Thaumcraft 2, where high level of these form the shards that you can collect, and they kind of act like batteries for the nearby aura, which has also been radically changed, by the way. Get back into that a little bit more when I can actually show you something along those lines. going to need a little bit of gold before I can do that, though. But for the major part, just know that if you see a cluster like that, that means there's a lot of that particular aspect here. Just want to show you guys that I kind of fell into a ravine here. You can see that we do have a couple of things down there. Most noticeably, you'll notice that the shards from Thaumcraft 2 are back. And we still have Ember, and I think there's Cinnabar down here somewhere. But as far as the rest goes, I think we're with reasonably generic ore generation. Coal, diamonds, iron, that sort of thing. I believe some of the mods here have recipes for copper, silver, etc. But they're not actually functional because there's none in the generation. For example, we have the iron chest mod here, so if we check a look at copper, you can see that we have all the coppers from Chisel, and we have the copper chest recipe as well as the upgrades. But I can tell you that I'm using the recipe button right now, and they're not showing up. So, not functional. Okay, welcome back, YouTubers. I know we said that we would be setting up camp over there, but I kind of changed my mind because that was a little small. So, yeah, I may have wandered a bit. Yeah. So, as you can kind of see from my mini-map here, we do have a village nearby. This here is Savannah, which is kind of like a plains. It just, you know, doesn't grow as fast. But, you know, we can deal with that. We got a desert. We got a forest over here if we actually really need the wood, which I don't think we will. And then we got here, which is the extreme hills. So, still yet to really raid the village, but I don't think there was a whole lot over there to raid in the first place. Unfortunately, smelteries and villages haven't seemed to have made it in yet, and I didn't see any Thaumcraft buildings or anything like that. Hello, Mr. Skeleton. Now, I'm planning on kind of setting up here in the extreme hills area here, which there's a little bit of grass here that doesn't count as a savanna, so I can use this as kind of a good farming and tree farm area. And for the time being, I've set up inside that cave there, which looks like a really wide opening, but it has the cave ledge overhanging it, so it's actually pretty well protected. I mean, even I have to make a jump from there, and most mobs can't do that. So, about the only thing I really have to worry about right now is spiders, and I actually kind of want a couple of them in. I'm just grabbing some wood here, and we're about to go on a bit of a mining expedition here. I kind of punched this out here to make room for a bit of Thaumcraft and a little bit of a infrastructure, but there's not really much of an infrastructure that's needed. I mean, maybe Buildcraft, and I'm thinking about taking a look at the EZ storage mod here. See if I'm looking at this right, this kind of looks like a very primitive version of like applied energistics, at least the storage part of it anyways. I don't see any, there does seem to be a crafting box here, but I'm not sure if that's like a actual auto crafting or not. So I don't see anything that would, you know, pipe things out anywhere either. Which is something else I discussed with this Twitch people. There are some items here that do RF power and the like, but unless the Buildcraft pipes are made or configured to transfer that RF power, we don't actually have any way of piping it around. So, like I said, we're probably going to be focused a lot on Thaumcraft and maybe a bit of Blood Magic later on. They got a new way of setting up the Blood Magic altar, so I'll have to show you guys that later. Actually, I can probably show it to you now, actually. Oops, wrong button. This is the new one here. This is the weak orb. It's kind of the same progression as before, by my understanding. Though I don't know if we needed a Myth Star before. But, yeah. To get started with the altar, I think we needed... Nope, that's for debugging purposes. There it is. To get started, we need the Demonic Will, which there is no crafting recipe for. I believe in order to get that, we need... let's see, where's that? One of these items allows us to trap a mob, and I think that's how we get to the Demonic Will. I kind of wish there was a tooltip or something that would show you how to do that, but that's probably still in the works. There it is. Rudimentary Snare. Basically throw it at a monster and then kill them, and you get to the Demonic Will. It's not too bad to make. It does require redstone, which I'm going to get kind of started on a little bit of a mining spree here. So we'll see about getting some of that here shortly. Okay, YouTube, I've been at this for a couple of hours now, and I'm still reasonably sure this place is safe, because this zombie is about to show us. I'm pretty sure he can't actually get up here. Yeah. He might actually have some problems with some spiders. Maybe a creeper if one decides to get up here. But, quick run view. We started digging out everything down here. Got down to about y equals 30, 25, somewhere in there. I realized that we need iron tools in order to dig up anything really important, including the diamonds. So, or Diamondays as some people call them. So what we're going to do is we're going to call it here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather a bunch of sand, gather a bunch of clay. I already have a bunch of gravel, and I'm going to probably punch a hole in one of these walls and make myself a smeltery so we can start working on iron tools. From a Thaumcraft perspective, we did find out that bone is actually pretty good as far as a tool rod, especially if you intend it to be for like a sword, because it has splintering, which is not going to let me show it to you now, but basically the more you hit a mob, the harder you're going to hit it. At least that's my understanding of it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get a smeltery, make an iron blade, because, you know, iron. Then we're going to make I already made the bone handle, and I'm going to make a flint handguard, because the flint does bonus damage to unarmored targets. And from there we'll kind of see how it goes. I do want to get some gold, so that's going to involve a little bit more mining, and like I said, the iron. And once you get that going, then we can start going into Thaumcraft. Do a little bit of research here, smeltery here, and maybe make this our alchemy and, you know, the start of our infusion area. a little cramped for infusion, but we'll make do. And as I get a little bit more stone, I'm going to try to make a base down here. But that might be a couple episodes down the line. So I've been at this for a couple of hours, and I think it's about time to call it. So have a good night, everybody.